Rejection does not define your worth. What does that mean? When you look at the story of David, David was the son of Jesse. He grew up as an illegitimate child because he was considered not a legitimate son of that house. He grew up as a rejected child from his father and the brothers. That is why he was sent away to look after the sheep with the aim of being eaten. They wanted him to be eaten by the animals there while looking after the sheep. Rejection does not define your worth. Your value isn't determined by other people's opinion or recognition. So rejection from the story of David, we can clearly see that kikulacho kingoni mwako. Like literally, people who do not recognize you, people who want to fight you, people who want to pull you down. You don't know why, for what reason. These are the people who are really close to you, your friends at work. These are your close friends who you have gone to school with. These are the people who you work with. These are the people who you share your love stories with. But you end up learning that these are the people who are pulling you down. They're defining you in a very negative way because they don't want you to realize or learn your potential, about your potential. Rejection does not define your worth because, believe me or not, let me burst your bubble, you're going to experience this rejection from people who are close to you, from your family member, your boyfriend, your husband, your close people at work, and your friends. So like David, go with what God has said about you. He was anointed to be a king. So he did not feel pity party about himself. He did not feel like he cannot achieve it. He knew God has called me. He went through so much in the hands of the family. He went through so much in the hands of Saul. But that did not really made him not get to a place where God had called him to be. So you're going to experience your family members or your boyfriend, girlfriend being intimidated by you, wanting to define you and not recognizing you because a prophet is not recognizing his hometown. But I'm here to tell you that rejection does not define your worth. Go with what God has called you to do. Go with what God has called you to be. And do not listen to negative voices. Rejection prepares us for greater purposes. When he went through all this, David built his resilience. He built his confidence in God. He built his character. Whatever you're going through, do not just go through it. Learn from the experience. Through that rejection, grow some thick skin. I've gone through rejection so many times. When I go through something, I go through it as a learning process. I go through it with, in my mind, I'm asking myself, what are you learning from this? Have you grown the thick skin enough? And I love growing thick skin because it has really helped me. It makes me resilient. And before I give up, it has to take a lot for me to feel like I'm losing hope or I want to give up. I have really thick skin, and I can tell you that because of what I've been through in life and the experiences that I've been through in life. Just like David, he built his confidence in God, he built his resilience, he built his character. So whatever thing that you're going through, use that as an opportunity. Blessing in disgrace. There are some people who are very weak, people who have not gone through so much in life, and when they're faced with something small, they tend to give up so fast. But use your experience as a stepping stone. Use your experience as a lesson. Like in class, the way chemistry was so hard, the lesson is so hard, the experience is so hard, but come out of it with so much lesson from it. Come out of it with such a strong heart, a strong inner man that nothing will ever break you. I want to tell you today that rejection prepares you for greater purpose. God is going to use you one day as an instrument, as a voice, because now you will have something to tell people, and you're going to do things through experience, And I tell my friends that I will not allow and sit down and look at my kid give up. I will use my life experience. What I went through, I tell my kid, I went through this and this, and you cannot give up. Your mother did not give up, so you don't give up too. So use it as a stepping stone to God's greater purpose in your life. Use rejection as your stepping stone to God's greater purpose in your life, just as David did. He was the strongest person you can ever see. He faced Goliath with just a stone because he knew God has brought him out from this um, rejected family where he felt rejected. God's timing is the best. David had to wait despite being anointed as a king. He had to wait for the right time for him to be a king. He had to go through hardship before taking the throne. So in whatever place you are, find the happiness in it, in the small thing that you have, in the small life that you have, in the struggle that you have, in the rejection from your family. Don't rush things. Don't give up and throw in the towel. Don't give up and say it has really waited. I can't do this. Remember that David, despite being anointed as a king and made a king, he really waited for so many years. He went through so much hardship. He went through so much, threatened to be killed by Saul. But he did not give up. He waited for God's timing. So whatever you're going through, let God birth something great from it. Let God bring out something beautiful from it, from the pain. Do not just go through the pain just because you're going through it. Sometimes I feel this is not the place I want to go, but I ask myself genuinely, if you are given this opportunity right now, will you be able to sustain it? And my answer is no. So I'm like, God, I know you are preparing me to be a greater woman, to be a strong woman. And that is why I cannot rush things. Maybe, probably David knew, if I become a king right now, itakuwa kama mtoto amepewa gari na ataanguka nayo. So in whatever thing that you're going through, bring out the best you can. Bring out the best version of you. Go through the process and make sure that you come out the other side as a learned person, because God will take you over and over that which you feel like you want to skip. But when you go through the process, it will change. Sometimes it's not even the destination, it's the process. So be happy with where you are, with the small that you have. You think that when you get that big opportunity that you're eyeing and you want, it will change your life, it will fill your vacuum. No, you will get to that place and it will destroy you. You feel that I think time was not yet, it was not yet time for me to be here. So before you get to that position, just make peace. If you're not happy where you are, even when you get to that place, you won't be happy. It might kill you, it might destroy you. So take time and wait for God's time. God uses rejection to fulfill his purpose. God uses those who are overlooked to fulfill his purpose. If you look at so many kings in the Bible and great people in the Bible, and the people who were rejected, people like Moses, he was almost killed, but God used him. So do not despise your small beginning. Do not despise where you are. Do not despise where you've come from. God is using or wants to use that person who is overlooked and make him great. God will not use someone who feel like they have reached, they have it all. He will not use those people who feel like God needs them. No, he's using those people who feel like without God, I can't do this. He uses those people, he wants to use those people who will give him credit. He wants to use those people who will recognize that without God, I wouldn't be here. He wants to use those people who are of humble heart and a contrite spirit. Rejection does not define your worth. That was the word of the day. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned that rejection does not define you, and I hope that when you feel you are rejected by your family or your friend or whoever is rejecting you, do not take it as a bad thing. Just learn that even David was there, but he grew up to be an amazing king. He grew up to be someone who was going to be used, who was used by God. So do not let people's opinion define you. Just go. I will come and do another video about identity, so that don't define yourself from other people. How Do not look how other people are identifying you. Do not be defined by family. Do not be defined by anyone. Your boyfriend, your husband. Do not be, not even you. You can only, and you will only be defined by God. Subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who you think needs to hear this. Thank you so much, and let's see you on the next video.